Hello brothers and welcome to Sigma Old Man channel. The man who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The man who walks alone is likely to find himself in places no one has ever been before. Alan Ashley Pitt. Most people spend their lives tangled in the web of societal expectations, working jobs they hate, seeking validation they don't need, and living according to rules they never agreed to. But then there's a different breed of man. A man who doesn't beg for approval, doesn't play by the unwritten rules, and couldn't care less about fitting in. He's not the leader of the pack, he simply refuses to be part of one. This is the Sigma male, the ultimate enigma, the lone strategist, the man who lives life entirely on his own terms. Here's a fact. Studies have shown that the most successful people in history, from Nikola Tesla to Steve Jobs, shared one thing in common. They operated outside the conventional social hierarchy. They didn't chase status or follow trends. They created their own reality. But let's be real, being a Sigma male isn't some edgy internet fantasy. It's not about being a silent, brooding figure in the corner of a dimly lit bar, unless that's your thing. It's about absolute self-ownership. It's about moving through life with an unshakable sense of direction, making choices that serve you and walking away from anything that doesn't. So, if you've ever felt like you don't quite fit in, if you've ever questioned why people blindly follow the script they've been handed, or if you've ever wanted to detach from the noise and carve your own path, then keep watching. Because this is exactly why Sigma males live life on their own terms. Number one, they see society as a rigged game, so they play by their own rules. Society is like a giant chessboard where most people don't even realize they're pawns. They're born into a system that tells them what success looks like, what rules to follow, and what boxes to check. Go to school, get a degree, land a stable job, buy a house, get married, retire, and then maybe enjoy life. It's a game designed to keep people obedient, predictable, and easy to control. But Sigma males, they see through it. They recognize that the entire system is rigged, not in favor of individual freedom, but in favor of those who control the narrative. So instead of playing along, they rewrite the rules entirely. A Sigma male doesn't reject society out of rebellion, he simply refuses to be programmed by it. He doesn't chase promotions just because that's what he's supposed to do. He doesn't seek status symbols to impress people he doesn't even respect. And he definitely doesn't base his self-worth on whether or not he fits into someone else's definition of success. While others are busy climbing corporate ladders or engaging in meaningless social competition, the Sigma male quietly builds his own structure on his own terms. This ability to step back and see the game for what it is gives Sigma males an unfair advantage. They don't waste time chasing illusions. They don't blindly follow trends, fads, or social norms. If something doesn't serve them, they discard it without hesitation. And because they're not bound by the same pressures that keep most people trapped, they move differently. Their success looks different. Their freedom feels different. Most people live as if they're constantly auditioning for approval, whether from employers, family, or society at large. A Sigma male walks through life as if he already owns the stage, not because he's arrogant, but because he simply refuses to be anything other than himself. And that's precisely why he plays by his own rules. Because he knows that the only real way to win in life is to stop playing someone else's game. Number two, they don't follow the grit and hustle lie. The world loves to sell the idea that relentless hustle is the only path to success. Work 16-hour days, sacrifice sleep, grind until you collapse. But Sigma males see right through this illusion. They know that effort alone isn't what creates success. Strategic effort does. While others glorify struggle as a badge of honor, Sigmas focus on efficiency, cutting through the noise and finding the shortest, smartest path to their goals. For most people, hard work is a performance. They want to be seen grinding because they equate suffering with achievement. Sigma males couldn't care less about appearances. They don't waste time on unnecessary meetings, pointless busy work, or grinding for the sake of looking productive. They focus on results, not effort. If working 3 hours a day gets them further than someone who works 12, they'll take the 3 every time. This mindset makes them dangerous in a world that conditions people to believe success only comes from exhaustion. Sigmas know that money, freedom, and power aren't rewards for mindless hustle. They're the result of leverage. They prioritize skills that let them work less while earning more. They automate, delegate, and build systems that do the heavy lifting for them. They master skills that give them control, whether it's coding, investing, or running an online business, so they're not trading their life away for a paycheck. The truth is, the hustle culture mindset keeps most people trapped. It convinces them that struggle itself is the goal, when in reality the goal should be freedom. Sigma males refuse to fall into that trap. They aren't lazy. They're ruthlessly efficient. They work when it matters, rest when it doesn't, and never waste time proving their worth through unnecessary struggle. While the rest of the world burns itself out chasing validation, Sigma males move in silence, getting more done with less effort, and living life entirely on their own terms. Number 3, they are the ghosts that haunt the system. Most people are terrified of disappearing. They cling to jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and social circles that offer nothing but noise because they fear the unknown. Sigma males, on the other hand, have mastered the art of vanishing. They don't make grand exits, they don't explain themselves, and they don't seek closure. They simply walk away when something no longer serves them, leaving behind nothing but silence. This isn't about recklessness or impulsivity, it's about self-preservation. Sigma males understand that loyalty to the wrong people, places, or systems is just another form of self-sabotage. They don't waste energy trying to fix what's already broken or convincing themselves to stay in environments that drain them. If a job stifles their freedom, they're gone. If a friendship turns into a one-sided transaction, they cut ties. If a relationship starts feeling like a cage, they walk out without hesitation. No warnings, no drawn-out goodbyes, just a clean break and an empty space where they used to be. This ability to disappear isn't just about avoiding toxicity, it's a form of power. Most people are predictable, bound by routines, obligations, and expectations. Sigma males operate outside of this structure, making them nearly impossible to control. Employers can't trap them with false promises of promotions. Friends can't guilt-trip them into staying in dead-end relationships. Society can't pressure them into conforming. The moment they feel the walls closing in, they vanish, often before anyone even realizes they were planning to leave. To outsiders, this makes them seem cold, detached, or even ruthless. But in reality, Sigma males simply refuse to be held hostage by familiarity. They value their peace more than comfort, their freedom more than approval. And so, they remain an enigma, appearing when it suits them, disappearing when it doesn't. No explanations, no regrets, just a ghost in the system, moving on to the next chapter while the rest of the world wonders where they went. Number 4, they treat relationships like optional side quests. For most people, relationships define their identity. They seek validation, companionship, and a sense of purpose through romantic and social connections. They build their lives around relationships, making them the center of everything they do. But for Sigma males, relationships are merely optional side quests, interesting, enjoyable, even meaningful at times, but never the main storyline. Their primary focus is always on their own path, goals, and personal evolution. If a relationship fits into that journey, great. If it doesn't, they move forward without hesitation. This isn't because Sigmas are cold, incapable of love, or avoid relationships entirely. The difference is that they don't need them in the same way most people do. They don't seek out relationships to fill a void, cure loneliness, or gain external validation. Instead, they view them as something to be enjoyed if and when the right person comes along, never as a life mission. Because of this mindset, Sigma males don't chase. They don't engage in performative dating, desperate swiping, or the endless game of seeking approval. They understand that true connection happens naturally, not through forced effort or unnecessary compromises. If they find someone whose presence adds value to their lives without disrupting their freedom, they might invest in that relationship. But the moment it becomes draining, restrictive, or distracting, they walk away, no matter how emotionally attached they might have been. This approach makes them incredibly difficult to manipulate. They're immune to guilt-tripping, emotional games, or societal pressure to settle down. They don't stay in relationships out of obligation or fear of being alone because they're completely comfortable in solitude. While others bend over backward to keep a relationship alive, even if it makes them miserable, Sigma males have no problem leaving if it no longer aligns with their journey. To some, this detachment might seem harsh, but in reality, it's the purest form of honesty. Sigma males don't pretend to be something they're not, and they don't make promises they can't keep. They engage in relationships on their own terms, free from desperation, codependency, or societal expectations. And if love happens to align with their path, they embrace it. But if not, they continue forward, unfazed and unburdened. Number 5, they don't need a tribe, but they can build one if necessary. Most people either follow a group or lead one. They crave belonging, hierarchy, and social validation. Alphas take charge, betas follow orders, and the rest fall somewhere in between. But Sigma males, they operate on a completely different level. They don't need a tribe to survive, succeed, or feel complete. They are self-sufficient, independent, and perfectly content navigating life alone. However, if circumstances require it, they can build a powerful network, not out of dependency, but out of pure strategy. The key difference? A Sigma male never attaches his identity to the group. Unlike alphas, who thrive on leading and controlling people, Sigmas see alliances as a means to an end. If collaboration will help them accomplish a goal, they'll assemble the right people, extract value, and then dissolve the group when it's no longer necessary. There is no emotional attachment, no need to dominate, and no interest in maintaining a permanent following. This ability makes them uniquely powerful. While most people either seek approval or enforce control, Sigmas operate in stealth mode. They can blend in with different social circles, work with high-value individuals, and influence people without ever being tied down. They might build a business team, form a temporary alliance for a project, or create a network of useful connections. But once their objective is met, they disappear without a second thought. No lingering obligations, no forced loyalty, no unnecessary drama. This detachment is what sets them apart. The average person fears isolation, believing they need a group to feel secure. Sigma males have mastered solitude, which gives them leverage in every social situation. They're not driven by ego, competition, or the need to be admired. They move in and out of social structures like ghosts, present when it serves them, gone when it doesn't. In the end, a Sigma male may interact with a tribe, even build one from the ground up, but he will never belong to it. His loyalty is to himself, his vision, and his freedom. Everything else is just a temporary tool in his ever-evolving journey. Number 6. They are proof that you don't have to conform to win. From the moment people are born, they are handed a script. Follow the rules, fit in, and you'll be successful. Go to school, get good grades, land a stable job, buy a house, start a family, retire at 65, and then maybe you'll be allowed to enjoy life. Society convinces people that this is the only legitimate way to win. But Sigma males, they prove that this is nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion. Sigma males reject the standard blueprint because they understand a fundamental truth. The path that works for the majority isn't necessarily the best path. In fact, for many, it's a trap, a predictable cycle designed to keep them working, consuming, and obeying without ever questioning if there's a better way. Most people comply, believing that deviation leads to failure. But Sigma males break the cycle entirely, creating success on their own terms. Their lives are proof that you don't need to conform to be financially independent, respected, or fulfilled. While others spend decades climbing a corporate ladder, Sigmas often bypass it altogether, choosing entrepreneurship, freelancing, or unconventional career paths. While society pushes the idea that relationships and social status define success, Sigmas prioritize self-sufficiency, freedom, and personal mastery. While most people feel pressured to follow trends, participate in groupthink, or seek approval, Sigmas move in silence, crafting lives that are uniquely their own. The irony? Many of them achieve far greater success than those who play by the rules. While the masses struggle under the weight of debt, stress, and unfulfilled dreams, Sigma males quietly build wealth, skills, and influence, all without sacrificing their autonomy. They don't work to impress anyone. They don't follow outdated formulas. They don't wait for permission, and yet they win. Not by following society's definition of success, but by redefining it entirely. In a world that constantly demands conformity, Sigma males are living proof that rebellion isn't failure, it's freedom. And when you stop chasing approval and start building on your own terms, you don't just succeed, you thrive. Number 7, they are neither leaders nor followers, they are outliers. In a world obsessed with hierarchy, where people are either climbing to the top or being told what to do, Sigma males exist outside the entire system. They are neither leaders nor followers. They are outliers, men who forge their own paths without feeling the need to control or obey anyone. They don't fight for dominance like alphas, and they don't fall in line like betas. Instead, they move through life on their own trajectory, unaffected by the rules that govern everyone else. Most people crave structure, whether it's being in charge or being guided. They need the comfort of a defined role. Sigmas reject this entirely. Leadership doesn't interest them because they have no desire to manage others. They don't need followers, subordinates, or admirers to validate their existence. But at the same time, submission is never an option. They refuse to be dictated to, controlled, or placed within a hierarchy that doesn't serve them. If they find themselves in a system that limits their autonomy, they don't fight for rank. They just leave. This makes them impossible to categorize, which is exactly how they like it. Unlike leaders, they don't seek influence over others, yet they often command respect simply by being unshakably independent. Unlike followers, they don't need external direction, yet they're always moving forward, quietly achieving more than most people ever will. Their ability to exist outside traditional structures confuses people. Some see them as mysterious, others as intimidating, but in reality, they are just unbound. Sigma males operate in a league of their own, parallel to the rest of society. They build their own systems instead of working within existing ones. They live by personal codes rather than external expectations. They choose their own missions, chase their own visions, and answer to no one but themselves. And in doing so, they prove that true power doesn't come from ruling over others or bowing to them. It comes from walking your own path, with or without anyone else by your side. Number 8, they master multiple skills without seeking recognition. Most people learn skills to impress others, to get promotions, gain social status, or prove their worth. Sigma males, on the other hand, master multiple disciplines for one reason only: complete self-sufficiency. They don't chase degrees for validation, they don't flaunt their abilities for approval, and they don't care if anyone even notices their expertise. They learn because knowledge is power, and power means freedom. A Sigma male might quietly teach himself programming, not because he wants to work for a tech giant, but because he wants the ability to make money on his own terms. He might study psychology, not to manipulate others, but to understand human nature and avoid being manipulated himself. He might train in martial arts, not to show off, but because he refuses to be defenseless. His skills are not a performance. They are tools for survival, success, and sovereignty. What makes this even more fascinating is that Sigmas rarely talk about their abilities. Unlike alphas, who thrive on recognition, or betas, who constantly seek approval, Sigmas move in silence. They don't post their achievements on social media. They don't brag about what they know. They let their skills speak for themselves, if and when it becomes necessary. To the outside world, they might appear ordinary, even unremarkable. But beneath the surface, they are walking arsenals of knowledge and capability. This mindset makes them unpredictable and incredibly difficult to control. Because they are not dependent on one skill, one career, or one source of income, they are adaptable to any situation. If an industry collapses, they pivot. If a crisis hits, they survive. If an opportunity arises, they seize it. While others panic when their one specialized skill becomes obsolete, Sigmas are already 10 steps ahead, armed with a diverse arsenal of expertise that allows them to thrive in any environment. They are self-taught, self-sufficient, and self-reliant, never seeking validation, never showing off. And in a world that glorifies empty recognition over true ability, their quiet mastery is their greatest advantage. Number 9. They break free from the illusion of the good life. Society sells a dream called the good life, a carefully packaged illusion designed to keep people chasing things they may not even want. A high-paying job, a big house, a luxury car, a perfect marriage, all marketed as the ultimate success formula. Most people spend their entire lives pursuing these things, convinced that happiness lies just beyond the next milestone. But Sigma males, they see through the illusion. They recognize that much of what society glorifies isn't about personal fulfillment. It's about status signaling and control. Marriage, for example, is often less about love and more about conforming to expectations. Promotions aren't always about success. They're often just golden handcuffs that tie people to careers they hate. expensive cars and designer brands. Most people don't buy them for personal enjoyment, they buy them to prove their worth to others. Sigma males refuse to be trapped in this cycle. Instead of chasing what they're told they should want, Sigmas focus on what actually fulfills them. If they choose to be in a relationship, it's because it adds value to their life, not because of pressure to settle down. If they build wealth, it's to gain freedom, not to impress strangers. If they own nice things, it's because they genuinely enjoy them, not because they need validation. They strip away the noise, discard the expectations, and focus solely on what brings them real satisfaction. This approach makes them almost immune to societal manipulation. Advertisers can't sell them happiness. Social pressure doesn't dictate their choices. They don't need a title, a luxury car, or a picture-perfect family to feel complete. Their fulfillment comes from within, not from external approval. The irony? While others chase the illusion of the good life, often ending up stressed, unfulfilled, and financially trapped, Sigma males quietly build real freedom. They don't sacrifice their time, energy, or peace for symbols that mean nothing to them. And in doing so, they achieve something far greater than society's version of success, a life that is truly their own. Number 10. They are nomads, physically, mentally, and financially. Most people build their lives around stability, fixed careers, permanent homes, and rigid identities. They tether themselves to jobs, mortgages, and social roles because society convinces them that security equals success. But Sigma males, they reject this entirely. They are nomads in every sense, physically, mentally, and financially, constantly moving, adapting, and evolving, never allowing themselves to be trapped in one place, one mindset, or one system. Physically, Sigmas don't feel the need to be rooted in a single location. Whether they're traveling the world or simply avoiding long-term commitments, they keep their freedom of movement intact. They don't accumulate unnecessary baggage materially or emotionally. If a city, job, or relationship starts feeling like a cage, they leave without hesitation. While others stress over mortgages and long-term plans, Sigmas prioritize mobility and choice, making them impossible to pin down. Mentally, they refuse to be locked into one way of thinking. Society pressures people to pick a label, liberal or conservative, corporate or entrepreneurial, traditional or rebellious. Sigma males reject labels altogether, choosing to think for themselves rather than follow pre-packaged ideologies. They question everything, adapt to new information, and constantly redefine their own beliefs. While others cling to identities that make them feel secure, Sigmas remain fluid, choosing logic and personal experience over blind loyalty to any group or system. Financially, they understand that dependency is a trap. Most people lock themselves into jobs they hate because they have no other options. Sigma males avoid this by building multiple income streams, high-value skills, and financial independence. They never allow money to control them or dictate their decisions. Whether it's freelancing, investing, or running their own businesses, they create financial setups that allow them to walk away at any time. While others trade their freedom for stability, Sigmas build stability through freedom. This nomadic mindset is what makes Sigma males untouchable. They can't be blackmailed with job security, emotionally manipulated by social expectations, or financially cornered into submission. They own their lives completely, always ready to walk away from anything or anyone that threatens their autonomy. And that, more than anything, is what keeps them truly free. Number 11. They own their time, the one asset most people waste. Time is the only resource you can never get back, yet most people treat it like it's unlimited. They trade hours for dollars, freedom for routine, and passion for obligation, all because they've been conditioned to believe that's just how life works. Sigma males, however, see through the illusion. They understand that true wealth isn't measured in money or possessions. It's measured in time and control over it. Most people waste their time in one of two ways. Sigma males refuse to play this game. They structure their lives around owning their time, not renting it out to the highest bidder. This doesn't mean they avoid work. On the contrary, many Sigmas are highly skilled and successful. But they work on their terms, choosing careers, businesses, or investments that allow them to be in control of their schedules. They'd rather make less money doing something they enjoy than be shackled to a high-paying job that demands all their time. This mindset extends beyond work. Sigmas don't waste time on pointless socializing, empty distractions, or maintaining appearances. They aren't at every party, replying to every message or bending over backward to keep up with social norms. They cut out the unnecessary, leaving more space for things that actually matter: learning, creating, traveling, or simply enjoying solitude. The result? Freedom. While most people look back and realize they've spent years chasing someone else's definition of success, Sigmas live intentionally. They design their days, choose their commitments, and walk away from anything that steals their time without offering real value. At the end of the day, money can be regained, opportunities come and go, but time, once it's gone forever. And Sigma males would rather live a life fully owned than one endlessly rented out. Number 12. They are a threat because they can't be controlled. The world runs on control. Governments, corporations, and social structures all function by keeping people predictable, obedient, and dependent. From a young age, people are conditioned to follow a script: study hard, get a job, obey authority, seek approval, and never question the system. Those who conform are rewarded with a false sense of security. But Sigma males, they shatter this illusion, and that makes them a threat. Unlike alphas who seek power and betas who seek guidance, Sigma males seek freedom. And true freedom is terrifying to those who rely on control. A Sigma male can't be bribed with promotions, manipulated with social pressure, or scared into submission. He doesn't care about titles, ranks, or hierarchies, making him impossible to intimidate. Society expects people to crave recognition, but Sigmas remain indifferent. This unpredictability makes them dangerous, not in a reckless or violent way, but in a way that unsettles those who want to pull the strings. A Sigma male in the workplace doesn't bow to corporate nonsense. If the job no longer serves him, he leaves, without warning, without drama, and without regret. A Sigma male in relationships refuses to be emotionally manipulated. Guilt trips, power plays, and societal pressure to settle down have no effect on him. A Sigma male in life moves on his own terms, making choices based on logic and personal fulfillment rather than fear or expectation. This independence is disruptive. When someone refuses to conform, it exposes how fragile the system really is. It forces people to question why they are following rules that no longer serve them. The mere presence of a Sigma can make others uncomfortable, not because he's aggressive, but because he reminds them of their own lack of freedom. And that's why society sees him as a threat. He is proof that control is a choice, that obedience is optional, and that true power lies in owning yourself completely. The system can't use him, can't predict him, and certainly can't stop him. And in a world built on control, nothing is more dangerous than a man who refuses to be controlled. Sigma males are living proof that you don't have to follow the script to win. In a world where most people are either chasing status or obeying the system, they move in silence, operating outside the usual hierarchy. They don't follow trends, they don't conform to expectations, and they certainly don't seek validation. Instead, they carve out lives on their own terms, untethered, self-sufficient, and completely unpredictable. What makes them so powerful isn't arrogance or rebellion, it's their absolute control over themselves. They master multiple skills without the need for applause, build financial independence so they can walk away from anything, and refuse to waste their most valuable resource, time. While others trade their freedom for comfort, Sigmas embrace discomfort if it means true independence in the long run. They are patient when others are impulsive, strategic when others are reckless, and focused when the rest of the world is distracted. This is why society sees them as a threat. They can't be controlled, manipulated, or boxed in. Their detachment from social pressures makes them immune to the games that trap most people. They don't chase recognition, but they attract it effortlessly. They don't seek power, yet they often end up with it simply because they're one of the few who actually own themselves. While the masses burn themselves out chasing an illusion, Sigma males quietly build something real. They play the long game, thinking in decades, not days. And by the time the world realizes what they've done, it's too late. They've already won. If this breakdown of the Sigma mindset hit different, then you already know you're not like the rest. You see the game for what it is. So if you're ready to keep leveling up, Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because there's a lot more coming your way. Drop a comment below. Let me know which Sigma trait resonated with you the most. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video with them. Every like, comment, and share helps spread the message to those who are wired differently. This isn't just content, it's a mindset shift. Stay sharp, stay independent, and as always, move in silence and let your success make the noise.